Hello everybody, welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. It's me, Jack, and today we're going to be making a one-pot burrito bowl. We're going to be using the Dutch oven. We have some cubed up chicken, we have some cilantro, some jalapenos, some onion cheese, chicken broth, that's a thing too. And yeah, it's just a whole bunch of ingredients, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, yes, we have a lot of ingredients here today. We have about 4 cut up jalapenos, 1 cup, well, a little bit over a cup of Spanish rice and Zatarain's box mix. We have half a cup of onion chopped. We have some cilantro chopped, 1 cup of cheese, a can of corn, and another can of that stuff, diced tomatoes. We have some chunky salsa. We're going to use 1 cup of that, I believe. We have 2 cans of chicken broth. I think we're only going to need 1, which is about 2 cups, but I have an extra one just in case. And 1 can of black beans. And then we have the chicken over here. This is 2 chicken breasts that I cubed up, and I put my sweet seasoning on them already. Alright, so before we get started on our recipe, there's probably one thing we really want to do, so we don't have to deal with it later. You want to get your black beans, and you want to get them opened, and you want to clean them. You really don't want this nastiness in there. I mean, you could, but I do not want that. So we're going to open them up, and we're going to strain out the juice, and we're going to rinse them off. Now, if I kind of cheat, I make this really easy. I use one of these, I forget what it's called at the moment, and just go ahead and pour it in there, and it will separate. Now, to rinse them off, just carry this over to your sink, run the water through it a couple times, and there you go, you have rinsed black beans. Alright, here we are, clean black beans. Now, I don't know if you can notice the difference, but trust me, there is a difference. Now, we can finally get started on cooking. Just like many other times when you cook, go ahead and get a little bit of oil and warm it up. And once it's nice and warm, we'll add our food to it. Alright, our oil is nice and warm, so we're going to go ahead and start scooping in our chicken. And we're going to saute our chicken for about 2 to 3 minutes. Turn your heat up if necessary to make it sizzle. After you get your chicken in, if you season your chicken the way I did by being lazy and just sprinkling it on top, be sure to stir it a little bit. That way you can try and get your seasoning more distributed. But in the long run, it doesn't matter all that much because we're going to be putting a lot of liquids in here. So yeah, just going to let this saute for about 2 to 3 minutes, as I mentioned earlier. Alright, here about 3 minutes later, we're going to go ahead and add in our onions and our jalapenos that we cut. And we're going to saute for about 2 to 3 more minutes. Or until your chicken is mostly cooked. Be sure to occasionally come back and stir it, as you don't want your onions and jalapeno peppers to really blacken. You want to avoid that if possible. Alright, next we're going to add our can of chicken broth. We're going to add our tomato sauce, our diced tomatoes. We're going to add our corn. And we're going to add our black beans. We're pretty much adding almost everything that's remaining over here. Let's mix it up really well. And then we are going to add in our rice. Try and get that into the liquid as much as possible. And if you can't, don't worry. You can add more broth or water. You can substitute the broth for water. But we're also going to add our salsa. We had half a cup of salsa set aside. And just go ahead and mix everything up. Alright, and after everything's mixed, you want to go ahead and bring it to a boil, and then once it starts boiling, we're going to reduce it to a simmer, and we're going to let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until your rice and chicken is the way you want it. Now I have a number of seasonings off to the side. I have some paprika that we're going to go ahead and add. We're going to add some chili powder. We're actually going to add quite a bit of chili powder. So don't be afraid to use as much as you want. We're going to add a little bit of cumin. Careful, this stuff's really strong. I'm going to add some cayenne powder for some more heat. I'm the only one that's going to eat this, so I want it nice and spicy. And we're going to top it off with some coarse black pepper. Not too much, just a little bit. Alright, and stir all your seasonings in. Don't let them just sit on the top and not do anything. You want your flavors to penetrate into everything as much as possible. Alright, and now we just wait for it to boil. If you need to, you can, or if you want, you can put your lid on it. Just be sure to monitor it for boiling. Alright, so this is 7 minutes into the simmering. It's getting nice and steamy. Smells absolutely fantastic. Also, this is a good opportunity to add more seasonings. Off camera, I added some garlic and onion powder because I forgot to do that earlier. Now, periodically, come and stir it just like any other soups or stews. You don't want to let them sit all by themselves forever. So come around and gently stir it. And just be patient with it. It's going to take a little bit. Alright, here we are. It's been 17 minutes and we still have a whole bunch of moisture. So I'm going to let it keep going because I really don't want al dente rice. Now, I'm going to give it maybe 5 more minutes and we'll see how it is. Okay, it's been 25 minutes and I think this is about as long as I'm willing to wait. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a taste test, and if the rice is not al dente, it's good. Now, your cooking time may vary. Cook it the way you want it, but 15 to 20 is about standard. Can take longer depending on what kind of rice you get. Mine ended up taking 25 at a minimum. Alright, so just make your bowl like you would normally, and if you really want to go the extra mile, remember that cheese we had aside? We have a cup of it. Just go ahead and sprinkle a little bit on top. Be sure to leave enough for anybody else that's having some. And also, if you like it, go ahead and garnish with some cilantro, fresh. I love cilantro, so I'm not afraid to add some. And if you have it, this also works. You can put some limes on the side, and even top it off with some avocado slices if you want to go the extra mile. And so yeah, there you have it, the one pot or one Dutch oven burrito bowl. This one does take a bit of time. You have to be patient with it. Also, before I even started to cook, chopping everything up and getting everything ready took ages. So this is definitely not a fast recipe, so take your time with it. Make sure you have plenty of time for dinner as well. Now, flavor, it tastes outstanding. It's really good stuff. I love it. This is also very spicy with what I put in it. And I put 4 jalapenos in it. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I put a quarter cup more salsa than I was supposed to because I'm a spice head. I love salsa. But yeah, you can make it mild. You can cut out the cayenne powder. There's all kinds of ways you can customize this. But yeah, thanks for watching. You can catch us here on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays most of the time. I was busy this last week. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll hope to see you next time.